This is America's favorite outdoor talk program, Outdoors This Week, with your host, Alex Langer.
I am the High Commander.
I'm the big boss bass.
Today, one of these lucky contestants will win his or her weight in fish right here on
Now, back to Outdoors This Week. Here's your host, Alex Langer.
Why, thank you for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. I sound like Lawrence Welk, for those of you who can remember Lawrence. Do you remember Lawrence Welk, Lynn?
I do. My grandmother used to watch it. She used to make me watch it with her, like on Saturday evenings.
God, that sounds old.
I know.
Of course, he is in reruns now. Those of you that want to watch Lawrence, he was in reruns as recently as a couple of years ago.
I think I saw it the other night.
Really?
In the middle of the night, I was watching TV, and I thought I passed by.
Holy cow. What channels do you watch?
Crazy channels.
All right, listen. We need to introduce my next guest now, because he's here and he's waiting for us to do that. He is the principal and founder of the website thebassholes.com. His name is Jared Pease. And for those of you that are regular listeners to this show, you probably remember Jared from 1995 when he was reporting from the Bassmasters Classic down on the Ohio River in Pittsburgh. He's here with us today. And for those of you that don't know him, besides that, he was best friends with Brian Kirchel. He was the youngest Bassmaster Classic winner ever, and then he was tragically killed in a plane crash about 3 months after he won the Classic. So Brian and Kirchel were tight, and here is Jared. How are you, and welcome.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for the welcome. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. Tell us about thebassholes.com. There are so many bass fishing sites now, and are you one of the bigger ones?
I would say we are. We seem to have a really big following, you know. This summer, July, August, September, we had close to 7 million page views, so we're really, cranking out the information.
That's as big as the Drudge Report.
It's really great. I mean, we're really growing, and I'm so happy and proud of it. We just keep working hard and keep improving, trying to give everybody what they want and what they need.
Tell me about the site a little bit. Has anything new come up there recently?
Well, there's always new articles and, new stories and new discussions going on the website. It's very dynamic like that.
What are the hot threads right now?
Right now, the hottest seems to be fall fishing, and people really enjoying the fact that this long, scorching summer is over and the fish are coming back to life, and, there's a lot of good catches going on across the country.
You're in South Carolina. You and most of the country suffered an awful heat wave this year.
Yeah, oh, my God, yes, definitely. I went to one lake not too long ago, and I pulled up to this one spot that I really do really well at, and I dropped the trolling motor, and moments later I was picking it back up because the water registered 108 degrees. The water was 108 degrees.
Holy cow.
So, yeah, it was a wicked summer.
108 degrees on the surface?
Yeah. Of course, it's a power plant lake, too, I might add, but, I mean, still, bring the carrots and onions and have some fish stew,
The fish are cooked before you get them in the boat.
That's right.
Tell me about the change to the fall seasons.
Well, all summer long the fish are, you'll find some shallow, but the majority go deeper, and they follow the bait fish, which stay in the main lake, because that's where the main, there's a lot of algae out there, and the fish, feed off of that. And then as it starts to cool, the main lake algae begins to die, and the shallower waters that stay warm, the algae is still abundant there, so the bait fish move up into the shallows, which is usually the creeks, and the bass follow, and they start a feeding frenzy, and if you're in the right place at the right time with the right bait, you're just going to clean up. It's just going to be like a bassing bonanza, as I like to call it.
Do bass stock up before the winter?
They definitely do. Yes, sir. They definitely do.
What triggers that? Is that water temperature mostly?
I do believe so. I believe it's the water temperature exactly. It's the cold fronts that hit. I believe that's exactly what does it.
What lures would you personally use in the fall?
I love using a soft jerk bait like a fluke. I really have a great time using that. It's
really?
A very fun bait to fish, and the strikes are, they can be very aggressive. I love to use that. I also love to use very small, tight, wobbling crankbaits like a Shad Rap. Shad Rap does really well for me in many areas. And then if I can find them on top water, I fish a popper like a Yellow Magic or a Splash It, and or a buzzbait. I mean, top water is the most exciting form of bass fishing that there is. And
tell me about the buzzbait bite in the fall. Is it pronounced?
It can be. It can be really good, And unlike the summer where most people think, I want to get the bite early in the morning, in the fall when the water is cooling, you can pretty much, if you're at the right place at the right time, you can pretty much get them on a buzzbait almost all day long. because the water is cool, the fish are on the move, they're close to the surface. You know, they're really trying to feed up, and you know, it can just be incredible buzzbait fishing all day long.
Jared, you're in South Carolina physically,
Yep.
right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Are you near Darlington?
I'm in Darlington, yep. I'm about an hour from Santa Cooper and about an hour from Lake Murray, so I'm like right in between those two great fisheries.
Wow, those are unbelievable fisheries. And Lake Murray has some great large bass and also large stripers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They have huge stripers. And Lake Murray is a fun lake to fish. It's a little different than most other lakes around the country because of the blueback herring in it, which,
Yep.
you know, sometimes can make it a real mystery to find the fish, but you know, it's a lot of fun.
Well, we have alewife up here, which are the closest thing to the herring. They're ocean run, and they come in from the Atlantic Ocean into my favorite Cape Cod lakes where the bass gorge themselves.
That's when I lived in Connecticut on Lake Candlewood. It was loaded with alewife. That was the main forage of, you know, the bass there.
Right, right. So you know what I'm talking about.
I do, yes, sir.
What else should we be looking for in the fall?
You want to find green grass. If you see any brown grass, move away, because brown grass means decomposing grass, and when grass decomposes, it absorbs oxygen in the water,
Okay.
and it depletes the dissolved oxygen, and fish will move away from that. So if you see brown, move away. If you find green, stay and fish it, because the fish will stay around that green grass as long as they can.
That's a very insightful comment. Actually, I think you're right. Most people wouldn't associate brown grass with lack of oxygen, but there were lakes that I fished where oxygen was a huge factor, even during the summer.
Yes, I have a lake down here. It's called Lake Darpo, and in the spring it's really good to fish, and the grass is all green. But as the summer progresses, the grass gets really brown, and it's very hard to get bit there. And
there's a local lake up here called Cochituate. It's about 10 minutes from the radio station up here. I've fished that for close to 30 years now. I don't want to admit that, but it's been close to 30 years. The weeds and the oxygen played a big difference, especially when the summer wore through, and you had green algae in the water. So you had to stay up with the green grass. You were done. Yeah,
exactly, yeah, because, those fish, they just can't function without that oxygen, that rules their life.
Right, right. What are you doing after this?
Today, specifically?
No, not today specifically. I mean in general, in the next week or two.
Well, right now, I've got some new software for the website, and I'm working on updating that. It'll be a lot more dynamic in the future, and that's my big project right now, is to get that software designed and in place.
Right.
The next big thing that we got coming up is in February, which is quite a ways away, but, that's the Shreveport, Louisiana, the Bassmaster Classic up there. Very excited about, and I'll start making preparations for that within the next month or so.
I plan to be there myself, Jared, so maybe we'll work out hosting together.
Yeah, fantastic. That would be great.
All right, buddy. We got to run. We got a break coming up, but I want to thank you for being on, and stay in the line after we're done here. I want to talk to you about something, all right?
Great. Thank you so much, Alex.
Won't cash my checks, but who needs the money with all this fish on deck? 'Cause I'm hooked on hooking up, and there ain't no cure. The only remedy is at the end of my lure. The bigger the better, break out the heavy line.